Okay, yalla, we ready? We live. Yalla. Yo, what is up, Universal Devils? My name is Sam Degan, and I am here to talk about the recent transfer news of Manchester United. Things are looking promising for the first time, and I think as long as I've been a Manchester United fan for the last 10 years, things are on the up. Ineos have come in, taken over the club, and we have signed already Xerxes, we've signed Euro, we've sold Greenwood, we've got links to Ugarte. Quite frankly, it's unbelievable as we look like one of, if not the most active club in the transfer market right now. Ericsson has said Ineos coming in has calmed down the atmosphere within the club. He's come out on a Sky Sports interview and said that. He's further gone on to say that everyone is here. He's talking about people like Jason Wilcox, Ruud van Nistelrooy. Ineos have come in and completely changed the structure of this club and who runs it. From the people who are in charge of the signings to the coaching teams. Now there's talks about work happening at Old Trafford, there's talks about work happening at the training facilities. Now whether or not you like the Cristiano Ronaldo's interview a couple of years ago, he spoke the truth when it came to the infrastructure of the club. It's fumbling, mate. It hasn't changed in 10, 12, 15 years. Biggest club in the world, or one of the biggest clubs. What are we doing, bruv? What are we doing? So for Ineos to come in and do this, it's brilliant. You know, it shows a new era at the club. Now I want to talk about Mason Greenwood. We have managed to sell that boy for 30 million euros. Not only have we sold him for 30 million euros, we've also got a sell-on clause, so if he's sold by the next club, we make 50%. 50%. Brother, let's say this guy just gets accepted in world football, which I think he shouldn't, because I'm not going to swear, he's a tart, right, for what he did. But let's say he does, he's phenomenal. He probably will still be a phenomenal baller. I mean, we've seen him on the football pitch. He's a great footballer. Let's say he keeps performing with 30 mil, and we're possibly going to make another massive amount of cash if the next club would sell him on for a big amount. That's brilliant. That's good business. You know, Manchester United hasn't made deals like this, I swear, since I've been a fan, bro. We be buying players like Fred for 50 mil. We'd just be splashing the cash, having the same amount of net spend as Manchester City with what players, mate? So this is the right business. You understand what I'm saying? This is the right business that we need. And now let's talk about our first signing of the transfer window, Joshua Zirkzee. Now, who is Joshua Zirkzee? For the people that don't know, Joshua Zirkzee is an international Dutch footballer who played for the Italian club Bolgana. Is that how you say it? Bolgana? What? What the fuck? Oh no, he played for the Italian club Bolgana. We have bought him from the club for 42 million. Now what does he add to the team? Why have we bought a second striker? Well, for one, he's young. And we need young players, we need players of the future. You could argue we needed maybe a more experienced striker to maybe show the ropes for a player like Højlund. But Xerxes adds a completely different dynamic to the team. His high intensity on and off the ball, combined with his physical presence and his ability to link up with teammates, is something that the squad needs. He's very much like a Firmino. He doesn't get a lot of goals, so this is what people are focusing on. Why we bought a striker who doesn't get a lot of goals. Firmino didn't get a lot of goals. Now, as a Manchester United fan, I even used to look at Firmino and go, what's this guy doing? He's a striker and he's got like, 7 goals a year. But if you look at the assists and what he did for Liverpool's front three, it's unbelievable. He was the player who would drop deep that would allow Mane and Salah to go forward as overlapping wingers. Now, we already know that our wingers are very, very selfish. They're very attacking style wingers. They're kind of like hybrid wingers. You know, like you look at Rashford, right? He's the type of guy to go on a wing that his crosses will be like a knockable. But you put him at striker and he just goes. So you need to put him on a wing. You know, he likes to cut back and shoot. Same with Garnacho, they're both very selfish players. So the only way you can allow that to flourish is if you have a striker who drops deeper and allows the wingers to play more as kind of like two attackers, or he drops deeper and plays as centre forward, which is what Joshua Zirkzee can do. Now, Lenny Yoro. Who's Lenny Yoro? To be quite frank with you, before we made the signing, I had no idea. I didn't know who he was before Manchester United made the signing on him. Now, Real Madrid were willing to pay 30 million for him. We have swooped under Real Madrid's nose and we have got the deal. Now, why have we paid so much to the point where it's nearly double the amount for this player? Well, one, he's a young player. He can be a successor to players like Rafael Varane, to Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans. He also will have less chance to get injured, which, as we know, last year was probably our biggest problem. We had about 6 games with a solid partnership, and that was Evans and Varane, which isn't even our best partnership. Martinez was pretty much out all year, Maguire was in and out all year, then Varane would come in and out all year, so that was an issue last year. Now Yoro, as a young player, is less likely to get injured. He also has an incredible passing range, as well as him being very, very physically strong. He's 6'3". You know, you're not going to get past him. And he also drops a lot deeper, like the sweeper, which is something like what Varane did. Varane was very good at dropping deeper, being the sweeper, allowing Sergio Ramos to go forward and play aggressive. He also does that with Martinez, which is why their partnership was very strong. Whenever they started together, we always flourished. Now, individual stats, Yoro doesn't look very strong. He doesn't have the best individual stats, but he's a young player, and it's comparing it against the top 5 league, all the defenders in all the top 5 leagues. Now, these are experienced defenders who have been in the game for 10 more years than he has. The guy's only 18, you know, so you can't expect him to have the best stats, but he's promising, and he looks like a player for the future. Now, Ugarte. Why is Ugarte so important for Manchester United? Well, in 2022 to 2023, Ugarte had an incredible season in Portugal's Premier Liga. He led the league for the most pass completion, tackles won, and dribblers tackled. And on top of all that, he ranked 5th among all the players in the league for total interceptions. Now, he does have some negatives. PSG are willing to let him go because they believe he is not good on the ball and can't progress the ball forward. Now, should Manchester United buy him? What do you guys think? I personally think he's a player we need because I think we can work on his ball-playing abilities. Quite frankly, we need a CDM who is going to work his socks off, which is what he does. He is a high-press player. Last season in the League One, he won the ball back more than any other player. That's the type of player we need. Next to Kobbie Mainoo, who's a box-to-box, and Bruno Fernandes, who works his socks off as well. Now, could you imagine them 3 together? You know, they will control the midfield and have high intensity. I believe that is something we need in the club, though I don't think we should overpay. I think we should pay 40 million max, in my opinion. If not, I think we should look elsewhere in the market. Let's talk about some other news. We have Harry Maguire talking about his future at the club. He has 1 year left on the contract. He believes that he is part of the future of the club. Now, let me ask you guys this. I'm not going to give much an opinion. Would you keep Maguire or would you sell Maguire? Same for Mason Mount. He's talking about fighting for his future. Keep or sell? But with all that being said, let me throw this back to you guys, because that's what this channel is about. That's why Praz has me on here. That's why I love it. It's all about the fans, all about getting us all involved. What do we think of our transfer window so far? If we had to rate it out of 10, what would we give it? Are you happy with the signings? Are you not happy with the signings? Who would you bring in? Who wouldn't you bring in? Let's talk about it. Listen, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you boys enjoyed the video. If you're new around here, like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow at Universal Devils on Instagram. Also, my Instagram is sam.degan with an X for the A in Sam, because somebody stole my name. So sorry, Price, you're gonna have to bleep that, but that's my first swear. Listen, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you're having a fantastic day, whatever you're doing. I'll speak to you all very, very soon.